Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Greetings to everybody around the world. It's Yvonne Marie Moore here, founder of the Global African Business Women. So yesterday I spoke about why we call ourselves Global African Women. But today I'm going to speak about why I left my 9-to-5 job. Okay, before I start, let me see if I can invite some people to come on and join us. But if not, I hope that you will be able to watch this video on replay and get to appreciate my life story, my history, and where I've come from. It's been a long journey. Hi, Joanne. Hey, good afternoon. What are you up to? Thank you for joining, Joanne. I know you're busy getting ready to go to Santorini in Greece. Oh my God, I wish I was coming with you. I'm so jealous. Oh, you're taking your morning walk? Okay, enjoy. I'm going to be taking mine later. I'm actually going to Hampshire this afternoon to visit a friend. And we usually like to go for a walk. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that later. Oh, thank you, Yokai. Hello, Yokai. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate you being here. Long time, Yokai. I need to catch up. You know, it's been a while. So yesterday I spoke about the reason why we are. Yes, I like that, Joanne. Why we call ourselves Global African Women, and also. Just kind of explain the interconnectedness that we find ourselves in our communities all over the world, starting from the things that affect us at a personal level. For instance, the clothes we wear, some of them are made in China, made in Bangladesh, made in India, made everywhere. And yet we actually wear them when we are in Africa or in England. But also it's about the cars that we drive, you know. Some of them are made in Germany, some of them are made in, all over the place. Oh, you're looking beautiful. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Yoka. Thank you. Yeah. But also, I talked about the migration that has happened, that a lot of us have moved around, to different countries, for different reasons. We've moved because we were either escaping conflict or wars, or we've moved because of education, or we've moved because of seeking greener pastures, or just wanting a different experience. So this is why we've become Global African women. But you know what? I also know women who've actually benefited from this globalization, African women who are very, very resourceful, who've been going to all these amazing places like Turkey, Dubai, China, buying things and selling and building mansions back in Africa. So anything is possible if you're open to the opportunities that the global platform presents to us. And this is why we started this community to inspire us to actually make us realize that, we are not victims, that we can achieve anything if we put our mind to it. So that was yesterday, and if you haven't watched that video, please go back and watch it. Today, I'm talking about why I left my 9-to-5 job. Well, when I graduated from university, and that was in England quite a few years ago now, I think I graduated at a time when there was a recession in the UK. And believe it or not, the government at the time was actually recruiting graduates to work for the Department for Education and Employment in order to cope with the volume of people who were being made unemployed so that they could claim benefits. So I was lucky. I was recruited as one of the executive officers at the time. So I joined my local employment agency as a Black executive officer. There were quite a few of us at that time. So I worked in the local office. I had to work in the local office at that time because my first marriage, it also ended, and I had a young daughter, so I couldn't go far. So that kind of suited me. It wasn't the best option, but I had no choice. I needed a job to survive. So I joined the civil service, the Department for Education and Employment, in my local office, going there every day, 9 to 5. But it wasn't always 9 to 5, by the way. Yes, you're paid for 9 to 5, but you usually stay on until 7, 6, or 8, whatever. So it was long hours, it wasn't easy. But I needed a job, I needed to pay my bills, I needed to look after my daughter, I needed to survive. So that went on for quite some time. And I did my best, like I always do. I always try and give of my best in whatever I do. So, so what happened was during that time, I worked so hard and became an asset. I was promoted to team leader. Things were going really, really well. But I began to feel unfulfilled. I knew that there was more to me. I knew that I deserved better than, the daily grind of the things that I was doing. So at that very time as well, the government introduced a minority program for Black executive officers. I think it was called Unlocking Your Potential. And this was to support Black employees to climb up the leadership ladder. So I applied and I was successful, and I was deployed at regional office. At the regional office, I worked there for 6 months. Then an opportunity came up and I went for it. I was always on the lookout for opportunities, and that's the kind of person I am, Whether they work out or not, I don't know. I think it's because I'm a risk taker. I like taking risks. So I got onto that program. I went to regional office. I started, really working with big people. It was quite an eye-opener, for a young girl from Africa. But it was interesting. I learned a lot, and I got people that really supported me, people that mentored me. But after 6 months at regional office, another opportunity came up, and I ended up working at the heart of the British government in Whitehall. I was working for the Minister at the Department for Education and Employment, but it was still a 9 to 5 job anyway, but also it was long hours, and then it was even further away from home. The stress of traveling into central London, those of you who live in London know what it's like. It was just so stressful, but again, at that time, I had no choice. I just wanted to have a job so that I could look after my daughter. My daughter was too young for me to sort of leave her for long periods of time. So that was, and I stayed on for 10 years. Yes, I was in the British civil service for 10 years. And then after that, I really thought, no, after 10 years, it was the cutoff period. I had to move on. Yokai, I learned that from you about looking out for opportunities and being a go-getter. Yes, we must be go-getters. It's really, really important, because sometimes opportunities come and we miss them because we don't go for it. We hesitate, we do this. I have so many regrets in life, by the way, because I had so many opportunities that I didn't take that I wish I had taken. One opportunity, maybe let me tell you what it is. When Zimbabwe got independence, I was there at that time, and a lot of white people were leaving the country, and they were selling their properties for a sum. 5-bedroom houses were going for £5,000. 2-bedroom apartments were going for $1,000. Back then, okay, it was a lot of money, but it was affordable. I could have done it. But as any girl at that time, I don't know. I was just thinking differently. I was socialized to believe that, I would get married and then men would buy me the house to move into. I just had a completely different mindset. I just wish I could go back and change, but I couldn't. Anyway, I'm glad that over time, over many years of life experiences, I did eventually manage to change my mindset. So anyway, going back to the story. So after 10 years of working in the Department of Education, I decided to become a community organizer. I was really very passionate about making a difference. I had got this vast experience working in the civil service, and I decided to work for what we call umbrella organizations, as a capacity building officer, working with refugee organizations. And it is also during that time, and I think after a couple of years, I then decided to start a women's organizations, and I worked together with Yokai, so she knows about that. And we did really well. We had our successes, but it was very, very challenging because, we survived on funding. We had to apply for funding. I tell you, I'm sharing this and because I'm saying NGOs are a bad thing, but I'm only sharing my story because as time went on and as funding dried out, it became so challenging. If I can tell you that out of 30 applications, you would probably be successful in one. Or nothing at all. There were so many rejections, it was so hard. We used to spend long nights writing funding applications. It became so tough. It was so depressing. I did that for 4 years, doing long hours, and really, it was really tough, but it was nice to know that we were making a difference and, supporting and helping those who were even in worse off situations than we were. Anyway, towards the end of the 4 years, I was feeling really depressed, and I thought, I think there's more to me than this. And the moment I started to think like that, one of my friends, and I really thank her, I owe her so much, and we remained friends, and she became my mentor. Her name is Jennifer, and she's from Uganda, but she lives in the United Kingdom. She became my mentor. And she said to me, "Oh, you've got so much experience. You can package yourself and start looking for jobs in the primary care trust." And I said to her, "What?" I couldn't see myself doing that. It took somebody to see something in me that I did not see. And that's why it's really important that sometimes you really need a mentor, you need a coach, you need somebody to support you, you need somebody to encourage you, you need somebody to tell you that you are better than you are. You need somebody who will bring out the best in you. And Jennifer did. She did that. So one day we sat down and she helped me to put together my CV. And then I started putting this, sending the CV out to agencies, and she helped me to set up my own company. And that began my journey into becoming a freelance consultant working for Primary Care Trust. I could not believe what was happening to me because the salary that I was earning was insane. I couldn't believe that I could earn that kind of money as an African woman. But actually, there were other African women who were already doing it. And so Jennifer really did help me. I became a freelance consultant and started working for Primary Care Trust, earning really good money. So for me, that was my aha moment, because at that time, I began to meet different people who were now talking about business, about entrepreneurship. And it just opened a whole new world for me, a world that I never thought would be possible for me. So I have a lot of people to be thankful for, including and especially Jennifer, who helped me to start on my entrepreneurial journey. So after working for the PCTs, and unfortunately the PCTs came to an end because the government decided to bring in new structures, that support the National Health Service. But in a way, okay, I could say it was unfortunate, but it was actually maybe the making of me becoming a businesswoman. Because after the PCTs, I then looked at other opportunities. And I got two sisters who are nurses, and one of my sisters was talking about, people making money through running care agencies. And I just listened and did my research, and so I thought, maybe I could give this a go. And then I applied. I set up another company, and boom, I set up my care agency. And as time goes on, I got my registration through. I couldn't believe it, because some people were telling me that because I'm not a nurse, I'm not a social worker, I wouldn't get the registration. But believe it or not, I got it. I was just, as Yokai reminded me, that I was a go-getter. I just go for everything. Whether it works out or not, I gave it a go. It didn't matter. I just wanted something because I knew it with all my heart that I was better than where I was. And I knew that there were better things out there that I could do. So yeah, I started my care agency, and and then after that, I started applying for contracts. And people said, oh, there is no way you can get local authority contracts. It's so hard. And I said to myself, it doesn't matter. I didn't listen to those naysayers. I didn't listen to those negative voices. I just applied anyway. And lo and behold, I got a big 6-figure contract in Bexley, of all places. But then people say to me, oh, don't go and work in Bexley, the place is so racist. Oh, yeah. And okay, maybe they had a point, because there had been some bad things happening to Black people there. But I had never been to Bexley to see for myself whether it was true or not. But when I got there, eventually, I found so many Black people there. I was actually surprised. And this is why we need to come out of our comfort zones and just go. Don't listen to what people tell you. Just do it. If it doesn't work out, learn the lesson and move on. So yes, I ended up in this place, that I'd never been before. But we were so welcomed by the commissioners and, the officers of the local authority. They were so supportive. They even said to me, oh, one of your applications was one of the best. So well done. I felt so good. I felt really, really good. And there I was, I was running my own care agency. I could not believe it. Things were really, really happening. And for me, that was the start of my journey into entrepreneurship. And after that, it opened up a lot of other doors. I began to look around, luckily, I did manage to meet a partner, and I'll talk about that another time. Got married, but anyway, I also expanded my horizons and went into student property. So that's what I currently do, because that actually suits the kind of lifestyle that I want. I love to travel. I'm a modern day explorer. I love to go to countries, to faraway places, to experience life, to learn about things, to go and see the Taj Mahal, to go and see things that I've only read in the books, oh, thank you for the hearts. Thank you so much for the hearts and the thumbs up. Thank you. I really, really appreciate that. So, once I tasted that lifestyle, of travel, of going on cruises, of doing beautiful things, of a good life, I said to myself, I'll never go back to a 9-to-5 job. And by that, I meant that I would never work for somebody else. I'd always work for myself. But for me, it was a journey, as you can see. It wasn't something that just happened overnight. But if I were to go back, I would definitely live my life differently. But this has happened. It doesn't really matter where you're coming from. It doesn't really matter who you are. There are so many amazing stories of people who made it in life, and it is just so inspiring. People who look just like you and me. So never put limitations in your way. Never put barriers in your way. Never say you can't. Just say you can and just do it. If it works out fine, if it doesn't, it's all good. If one door closes, as you know, another one will always open. And I'm not saying this and suggesting that it was all plain sailing. It wasn't. It was quite tough, But if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. But what I'm saying is, be a risk taker. Get out of your comfort zone. Just try. But most importantly, surround yourself with the right people, like I did, with Jennifer. And also take feedback positively. When people tell you that, oh, you have certain qualities, listen to that, because those are your angels. That's God sending those people to you, telling you that you are better than you think you are. And I had people like that around me. And nowadays they're called mentors, they're called coaches. They help you to see what you don't see in yourself. And because sometimes we've been so downtrodden and socialized to believe that we can be anything more than what we've achieved, we start to believe those negative messages that we grow up hearing. But it is possible. We can overcome all that. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you so much. Thank you for the love. I really appreciate that. I'm really so excited about this platform that we're creating for ourselves as global African women, doing amazing things in our little big corners of the world, So remain focused, connect yourself with the right people. So one important thing I want to say is that the moment I started to make money, the moment I was able to make money, I was also able to make a difference. I give money to 5 charities. I give money to my school. I'm not saying this to show off or to impress you, but I'm saying this to show you that when you are able when you have the right resources, then you are able to make a difference. And that is the objective of the Global African Business Women. We inspire women to embrace entrepreneurship so that we can achieve financial independence. When we achieve financial independence, we are able to help our families and our communities. We are able to make a difference. It is hard when you are in a 9-to-5 job with one salary where you get 2% increment every year. It's not a lot of money. And let me tell you this, there are a lot of people out there with goodwill who are willing to help you and support you. And they are not always people from your community. It could be people from outside of your community. I was helped by many other people who don't look like me, but who are willing to share their expertise, are willing to share, their knowledge. So put yourself out. The most important thing is that you must have self-belief. Never doubt yourself. Never, ever doubt yourself, because anything is possible. Anything is possible. I really hope that I have managed to, present this message in a way that you all understand. I just wanted to share my story, really, my journey of why I left the 9-to-5 and why I have become a champion for entrepreneurship. One of the things as an activist, because my background actually is in gender and development and international development, I have seen aid come into Africa for more than 40 years, for 40 decades, but it hasn't made any difference. I believe that it has actually created sometimes a dependency culture. And I'm not saying aid is wrong, please don't get me wrong. Aid is good, but there is a place for aid. Aid should be there in times of conflicts, in times of disasters. Like sometimes we have droughts, we have floods, we have conflicts, we have all that. That's when aid should come in. Not any time, not all the time, so that it makes people forget that forget self-reliance, forget that they can do things for themselves. So it's really, really important that we get the right balance when it comes to aid. And I don't like to think that us as Africans, we want to be seen as people who always have the begging bowl, being given money by donors. We can create things, we can innovate, we can do wonders. And African sisters are doing wonders in Africa, and it's actually a big lesson for us in the diaspora. And I think that will be a subject for another time, because Africa is the next big thing. Africa has everything. We have the natural resources. We have diamonds, with gold, with everything. We have a young, intelligent population, So we need to be prepared, because Africa is going to take off, and it is taking off. So we need to be ready. We need to be ready to be players, at the global level. We need to be there when all those big contracts are signed. We need to be ready, So thank you very much, my dear sisters. I hope you found this useful. And like I always do before I go, I like to review one of my poems. So please allow me to read this poem, which I dedicate to you ladies. Right, here we go. African woman, you are the flower of Africa. Like the hibiscus that adorns the hair of a queen, your beauty is unmatched by any ever seen. Fragrant like the calm jacaranda, bringing peace like a gentle rain over the veranda. Like the brilliance of the amazing flamboyant flower, with colors so vibrant you are drawn to its power. So are you, most beautiful African princess, a gift to the world, amazingly priceless. This is from me to you. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for listening. Till next time, stay connected to your global dreams. You can do it. We can do it. Let's do it. Let's go for gold. Goodbye. Take care. Have a lovely day. Thank you. Bye for now.